So this whole thing actually started, it was a big accident. I called Travis and said, hey, do you want to get together for the Colorado game? And he said, let's do a home game instead. How about the Michigan game? So we started to plan an event with maybe 10 or 20 people, kind of a mini reunion. And then I talked to Shelly Zaborowski with the Alumni Association, and we started to think about it, and we realized it's 2023 and the group started in 1973. This is the 50th anniversary of this group. We should plan something big. And I know that Mike Zeleny was a part of that conversation. He said, I'll see what I can do. Maybe we'll do the national anthem. This all happened like a year ago. And it just kept going. The amount of potential energy this reunion had. Remember high school potential energy, the big boulder at the edge of the hill, and it talks about how much potential energy there is. You just give it a little push. That's all we did, was we gave it a tiny little push. And I mean, this thing just started rolling. And we had 20 sign up, we had 50 sign up, we had 80, we had 100. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. There was so much enthusiasm for this reunion to happen. It really wasn't hard to put together at all. It is so emotional. Last night at Screamers, from my vantage point, I could see the stage, and then on the back wall there's Ray. And the angle of Ray's picture, it looked like he was looking at the stage. It was really cool. This whole thing has been so much fun. It's just so meaningful to see people from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s all coming together. We've got this bond. I know someone last night was talking about the bond of music, and I wasn't even in the group with some of these people, and yet we all come together, and I don't have to be in the group with you. I don't have to know your name. I just know that we're best friends already because we were part of the Scarlet and Cream Singers together.
It's such an interesting bond and connection that we have, and all of us, not even like the years I was in it, but like Roger Tatum was in the first year, and I'm great friends with him, and he's 20 years older than I am, and I never was in the group with him, but we're all close, and it was because of Ray. It was because of Ray Miller and who he picked, and just the positions that he put us in, the conditions that he put us in, just to become so close and such great friends. He was old school. I mean, put the pretty girls down front, put the ugly guys in the back, and he picked great music, and he knew how to design a show. So, and even I use that because I'm a professional entertainer today. I mean, 30 years later, and I use the same philosophy he had in the show. I use in mine, and it's the same. It's just old school entertainment. And just go out and knock their socks off. I mean, that's what we did. And the music that he would pick, the great music that he would pick, even if it was a medley that we didn't like, we did it because he wanted to do it, and they always hit. They always were enjoyed by the audience. And we're like, why are we doing this medley? Like, once we would do it, the audience, it's like, oh, he knew how to design a show and create just a good group of entertainers. You don't have any other friends in the world that are better than Scarlet Cream friends. I mean, they're family. They're truly family. I've had a lump in my throat the entire weekend because you just think about the great times we had and all the people they're just the great people in this group. It's so much fun.
Oh my gosh, not only was it wonderful to see so many Scarlet and Cream alums here, some of them I have not seen in over 40 years, so it was just such a pleasure to see them, but to have so many alums come back on this weekend, just getting together was great enough, but the honor of singing the national anthem and the personal honor of being chosen to conduct this, as I told the group yesterday, I said, I have done so much cool stuff in my career, but none of it compares to what went on today in front of 90,000 people in the stands, and I'm so honored and thankful for that opportunity. I have been in possession of Ray Miller's red and white checkered jacket for 10, 15 years. I don't know how long. We had a Scarlet and Cream auction, and I won the auction, and I bought his jacket. And so I knew that if I was going to direct, I was going to have to wear that jacket. And I thought it would be really cool to have everyone sign that jacket. So not only when I was directing did I have Ray Miller's jacket on me, I had the signatures of everybody that was here this weekend, and that just meant so much to me to have them do that.
My dear, dear friend Bob Buckholz, who was our piano player for the beginning of it, and he was so talented. He and I were pals, and it was maybe it was in the fall, and he said, Debbie, Ray Miller, the voice teacher, he's starting this new group sponsored by the Alumni Association. Come, and he just dragged me by the body. And he said, come on, I want you to try out. Oh, I said, I can't. He said, just try out. So we went up to Ray's office, and it was just Ray sitting there at his desk, and then I was standing up, and Ray said, okay, Deb, sing a song. And I went, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. And then he says, can you dance? I said, I don't know. He said, dance for me. So I, and then I turned around like this, and he goes, Deb, you're not a good singer, and you're not a good dancer, but you've got great hair, so we're gonna put you in. And so that's how I got into the group. There's a bond that we created that is a sync lock that it marks you for life, and it's from the singing. We had great times, on buses, on tours, and lots of laughs, and late nights, and goofiness. But when we got around that table to rehearse, or when we were on stage, we surrendered our identity, our individualism, and became one. And that marks you for life. And these people are so dear to me, because they're wonderful people, but I think that is the magic of it. Like a special moment, there are a trillion of them, but here's a funny moment. We were at the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve, and we were singing in a great hall for the Nebraska Alumni Association for their New Year's party. And we sang, There Is No Place Like Nebraska, and at the end of that song was a kick line. And so the women were doing the kick line, and two of the girls kicked so high that their high-heeled shoes flew off their feet and hit a bald guy in the head.
In 1973, Ray was looking for possible members of this group, and I was studying with him, studying voice, and he was looking around the School of Music, who would like to do this? He asked me if I could dance and move. I said yes, and he said okay, because he knew I could sing, and that's how that started. I have been a professional performer all my life, and I think one of the best things that happened was the fact that I got a lot of experience, not only dealing with audience members, being on stage. Ray would always be looking for different solos, and it's like, okay, just a lot of experience, getting confidence, and it was a new style at that point. I mean, show choir, swing choir, what is that? And it took the state by storm, and it's a huge institution now, but we were kind of the first on the block. I've been a wreck for about a month thinking about it, and it's bittersweet because for over 4 decades, I really haven't seen the majority of the original group. My college roommate of 3 years, Bob, I haven't seen Bob for over 40 years. It's a little bit bittersweet. You come back, you say hello, you try to catch up, and then probably, since most of us are geriatrics, we're getting into the fall and the winter, and it's like, well, maybe we're saying goodbye to have an opportunity to do that. Priceless, just priceless.